The 1990s were a fun time. The internet was in its infancy, a fun sideshow that was far from taking over our every waking moment. Video games were bought once, and then you just owned them. Movies ruled the day, and they were still made on this thing called film. More importantly, most movies in the 90s exuded something called quality that seemed to ooze through every frame. Some were quirky, some were wild or experimental, but the whole era was dripping with style and substance in a way that got lost in the 2000s and beyond. It was from this era that Wolf was born. Released in 1994, Wolf stars the legendary Jack Nicholson at the height of his fame as Will Randall, an aging book publisher who gets replaced at his job by a younger, hungrier competitor, Stuart Swinton, played by James Spader. On the way to Vermont, Randall is in an accident and gets bitten by a werewolf. Afterwards, he finds himself getting heightened senses, and at night he goes on wild excursions. Along the way, despite being married, he begins a relationship with his boss's daughter, Laura Alden, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, and then gets wrapped up as a suspect in his own wife's murder. It's classic 90s thriller drama mixed with werewolf stuff, and it's the execution of it all that makes it special to me. It's a very subtle movie, not over the top. It's not loaded with blood and guts or slasher craziness. It takes its time, lets the characters show you who they are. It's more about the main character, Randall, discovering his own power, not just the heightened sense of smell and hearing that comes along with his curse or blessing. But it all comes at a cost. The danger of losing control and going too far is right there. And when dancing on the razor's edge, it's hard for him to tell where he ends and the monster begins. Mike Nichols does a solid job with the directing here, having made classics like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Graduate, and The Birdcage. You may notice that these are not horror films. These are cerebral dramas, or in one case, a fun comedy. Movies that focus on characters and social dynamics more than tricks. And that shows in Wolf. The action is intense, but disciplined. The acting is subtle. Even the werewolf scenes feel subtle compared to the wilder fare we have seen after the turn of the millennium. We are not talking about underworld style pyrotechnics. And that's okay. This is a different type of werewolf film, possibly the most yuppie werewolf film ever made. Coming from the early 90s, where the go-go intensity of the 80s was really put into the rearview mirror, it's no surprise that more mature filmmaking took over, and you would get this style of exploration of middle age over mind-bending special effects. Not saying those aren't appreciated, as The Howling and An American Werewolf in London are all-time classics that are both from 1981 and deliver those things in droves. We just have something different here, something cooler and more thought-provoking. The movie is rounded out by surprise performances from David Schwimmer of Friends and Band of Brothers fame, Richard Jenkins, who was in The Shape of Water and Step Brothers, David Hyde Pierce, who was in Frasier, and Om Puri, as well as Kate Nelligan. All give solid performances. Having said all this, I'm not saying this movie will knock your socks off, or change your life, or quench your thirst for blood and guts. No, this is a different type of horror film. It's more character study, and still fun. It's a movie you should break out the wine and cheese for. This is a movie where you savor the flavor. And that's it. It's a solid pick for Halloween, and I highly encourage you to check it out. I had a lot of fun with the movie, and I hope you do as well. Happy Halloween, and get to it.
This is Derek Scarzella. Thank you so much for watching this video. Just doing a quick outro. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Above all, we want to hear what you have to say about this video, this movie, what it meant to you. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, of course, YouTube. Check out our website, actionagogo.com. And of course, you can check out my own novels, Knuckle Crackbone, as well as The Vicious Game. Links are all down below. We also have a merch store if you want to enjoy our glorious Action A Go Go electric logo, which is going to come right after this. And of course, again, thank you so much for watching. It's super appreciated. Hope you had a good time. I know we did. Bye.